Hey, 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 hey! I believe that is us now live. So, hello, and welcome back to the Fireside portal. I'm gonna hope I've set the stream up correctly this time. Time will tell, and we will continue in our uh, character building series for our brand new show. Crimson, if you want to introduce yourself.
Well, hello there. Good to see you, Ash. Good to see you, Chat. I'm Crimson Rockstar. You may have seen me lurking around in various Twitches and Discords. Not really a lurk. I talk a lot there too. But I'm really excited to be here. So I get to build my tank.
So I've been doing all of the promos for the last couple of times because sort of I was the one who was here, but it's very important to mention in this stream definitely because the last stream didn't actually record on Twitch because I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh,
That actually this entire setup was sort of done between me and Crimson Rockstar, so it's sort of the pair of us that are setting up. Volume of 10 is max, I'm at a 7. Okay, so I think the fastest fix for that is to probably just do this. Because I think I moved my microphone a little bit too far from my mouth.
oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
I have
Hmm.
my microphone behind everything because I was setting everything up. So that's probably a
Yeah,
little bit
if
better
you
now.
guys have any suggestions while we're going through things, make sure you pop them in the chat.
Yes, please do, because all suggestions are excellent. So, Crimson, as I've been
Hi.
doing all the introductions, would you like to tell everyone about what Fireside Portal is?
The Fireside Portal. It's going to be a series of adventures where the party stays the same, but the DMs rotate around and kind of try to throw something new at us. Um, what it boils down to is it's going to be a kind of like a seasonal show where we kind of set up a challenge for dungeon masters, and we want to kind of test our skills out and offer genuine feedback on the right off the cuff. And at the end of the season, we'll invite our top four dungeon masters back to take our characters and play them. And then it's up to you guys to decide who is our overall winner in earning the grand prize. Ash does a much better job of selling this grand prize than I ever do.
Yeah, so the grand prize is a square foot of land in my wife's native Scotland, brought to you by the Woodland Trust here in the United Kingdom. So when you buy a square of land, it's on an old estate, and it actually means that you're entitled to call yourself a lord or lady for life. That is an actual thing that you can do. It's a weird Scottish law. So we've purchased a couple of them, one for a lord, one for a lady. So you will win either or both. Not bothered. Whatever you fancy, and that is the grand prize that we offer. So a lord and or ladyship for life. They're also going to plant a tree in that square foot. You'll get the number for that tree. You can go and visit it if you ever come to Scotland. You can actually go and visit the estate, visit the tree, find your number, and what that is also doing for those conscious ones among us, that is actually offsetting the entire carbon footprint of this stream, all the electricity used and everything. So 2 trees planted in the United Kingdom, offsetting the carbon footprint and also providing the prize of a lord and ladyship for the winner. There's also going to be some physical prizes. The amazing and talented Vix Draws is doing all of the concept art for the show, including all the characters, some background art, that kind of stuff. That is going to be put into a little booklet and signed by Vix herself and sent out to the winner as well. So you'll get a nice concept art book. I think we're also looking at purchasing the I think it's going to be the
It'll, so at the end of the season, it should be the most recent book that's come out.
which
Would be the oh, what do they call it? Now I have to look. It's going to be the Critical Role book
it
that's
is going to
coming
be the
out.
Critical Role book. I was trying to think about.
Call of the Netherdeep.
There we go. So it'll be the new
Yeah.
Critical Role book, so we'll get an alternate art copy sent out if
I
they're
don't know if that
doing
one's
one.
going to have an alt copy or not.
If they're going to do one, I think that's now a thing that they're just doing. But either way,
Mm,
you'll get a physical copy of the book.
it's not a guarantee.
But we'll
That's
see.
all right. Yeah,
So yeah, a
we'll find out.
couple of really good prizes for the DMs. So
Cool.
that is the challenge that we lay down. We do need channel points. That's a very good point. We'll set channel points up at some point.
Well,
And
we
then
got to hit affiliate before we can play with channel points.
right, okay. So we'll wait till we hit affiliate then. So a little bit of background. So just to sort of reiterate the scoring system for this, the DMs are going to have about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, to do a full one shot. Obviously, it's chopped a little bit shorter than it would normally do because there's no need to introduce the characters. The characters are going to be replayable. They're going to play each time, starting from, as though fully rested, just leveled up. So level 5 characters, basic equipment, basic stats, no feats or anything like that. It's all just very generic, which you'll see as we go through the build for the Barbarian. And then it's not just the 4 players who are going to score, chat's going to score as well. So look forward to turning up, and there will be a chat vote, whether that's actually on the stream. I'm not sure. It might be on the stream, it might be on Twitter. I don't know. We'll
Might be
figure it
through
out.
Discord. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Speaking of
But
Discord, I'm going to drop a link for that shortly.
yeah, well, I'll do the sensible thing, and I'll drop our link tree in here.
Oh, I guess I can take that part off next time. All right.
So I can drop the link tree in there as well. That's all of our bits and bobs. Yeah, it was great to see you, Sherry. Go and have dinner. And theatre show. Oh,
enjoy.
it's wonderful for some. Have a lot of fun. I'd love to go back to the theatre. Everything's sort of gone back into closing down again here, so I will not be going to the theatre this Christmas either.
Aw.
But hey, we'll get through. So, without much further ado, then I think we go on to the build.
I'm excited for this character.
So here we go. Here we have the character build screen. Talk us through what we're thinking. So I think we've already decided on a race.
Yep. I was definitely classic barbarian. For me personally, just aimed straight into good old strong dragonborn.
Yeah, so the Dragonborns are brilliant. If we bring up the Dragonborn race details, so much good stuff in here. Dragonborn traits, strength score increases by 2, charisma by 1. So charisma's fine, but getting that additional strength buff is just great for a barbarian.
We need the strength.
Yeah, it's very, very good for a barbarian. Quick growing as well. So adulthood by 15, so you've got a lovely wide span that you can play the character from, which is great. And then you also get the wonderful draconic ancestry, where we can breath weapons galore, whichever one we pick.
Oh, that's an easy choice as well, because we are cool. And we don't necessarily want to just play into everything's got weakness to fire. No, we're gonna light them up with the shock of their life. We're blue. We're powerful. We're strong.
So the good news is that it does lightning damage. The even better news is you've got lightning resistance, which is always good to have. So
yeah, typically fire would be a really good option. However, I enjoy the challenge of bringing other damage types around.
absolutely. So Dragonborn it is. Let's get on to the class.
Not to mention being able to
don't know how that's
speak,
back.
read, and write Draconic is always
supposed
helpful.
to be back here. So let's jump up to level 5.
We're jumping to level 5. Huzzah.
And that should give us all of the wonderful choices for a barbarian. So immediately max hit points before we've even done anything, straight up to 50, which is exactly what you want from a barbarian tank. Just absolutely brilliant. So proficiencies.
Proficiency. All right, we get to choose 2. from a list of animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, or survival.
Absolutely.
Uh, let's see here. And you know the characters a little bit better than I do already, Ash. So
Mm-hmm. Yep, having built all of them.
because we when creating these four characters in particular, we're trying to not overlap our skills too terribly hard.
That's correct.
Oh, welcome, Gregulus. It's great to see you. And the Derpwood.
Wow.
Ah,
Everybody's
yes,
turning up.
yes, I appreciate it. Greg, your music has been added to the intro already, and it sounds amazing.
It is absolutely beautiful. Um, but both of us were sat here with it or just on quiet while we were waiting for the stream to start.
But I can play it on loop anytime I want to, really.
So, going back to this,
Yeah,
what we have a serious lack of is athletics and intimidation.
good. That's I think what I was aiming at originally for this character.
Yep.
We're strong. We can lift things. We're a dragonborn. We can intimidate things.
That's it, and I think that's sort of the one thing that from the role playing aspect specifically. That's kind of what we're missing. We've got deception covered thanks to our wonderful rogue. We've got
Sneak. Yep. Yep.
sneak and sort of disguise thanks to our bard. So I think the ability to intimidate is going to be
Well, not to mention our cleric's going to have great persuasion usually.
yeah. So I've kind of gone down the route of yeah, persuasion and sort of
Yeah.
charisma as well as
Yeah.
my usual
So
tanky
we have
self. So
diplomacy well versed.
absolutely, I think
Yeah.
in terms of sort of the role playing side of stuff, I think we've got it covered. And then athletics, just to give you, I mean, you're going to be strength based anyway, so you might
Yes.
as well
Yeah.
just go full bore on the strength.
Hmm.
The good news is there's very little to actually pick for the rest of it because you've got rage, unarmored defense, reckless attack, danger sense, all fantastic for the barbarian. It's nice and simple. Um, Primal Path. Where do we want to go?
Well, we're going straight into tank mode, and with that, as like as fun as it is to be resistant to a bunch of stuff, it's so much more fun to just throw a ridiculous amount of damage around. Where we are going with our primal path of the Berserker.
Oh, definitely. It's such a fun one, and it kind of
Hmm.
we were discussing this yesterday with sorry a couple of days ago with the bard, sort of thinking about you going full berserk, and he's got the ability then to debuff.
Oh, I
So
like it.
he's going to be debuffing so that they're attacking at disadvantage, which will be negated by their advantage. So you're going to be
Hmm.
swinging with advantage. They're going to be swinging on straight dice. So it's pretty
That's gonna be
crazy.
fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna
So
be
it
fantastic.
feeds all into that amazingness.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we're not going with feats because the intention of this is to just keep it as simple as possible for the DMs because they're only going to get
Right.
one shot at this. So having to contend with sort of feats and all the other abilities, it would just
Yeah.
start to get a little bit
Yeah.
crazy. So ability scores. Obviously, we're going to go intelligence and charisma.
Indeed, my good sir.
Absolutely,
Nothing wrong with an intelligent lizard.
absolutely. So strength, I assume.
Yeah. Ability score improvement's definitely going to go for strength, and I believe constitution is really solid.
Yeah, I
Depends on how
think.
we. It depends on. I usually skip that part and come back to it after the ability score
Okay,
the
yeah,
ability scores are chosen,
we can
just
do that
because
if you like. Yeah, because it
it's a
would
lot
make it a
easier
little
to
bit
figure
easier.
out what you are lacking.
That's true. That's true. I did it that way. If you remember
Hmm.
on our build, which
Yep.
isn't available because I'm an idiot. But
You're not an idiot.
the last couple we've put up that way.
Just so
So
everybody's aware, these are our scuff streams on purpose. We are actively learning quickly, and that way, by the time we start doing the show, we're going to be pretty well versed and experienced in running it.
yeah. And I absolutely agree with
Oh
everything
boy.
being said in chat. Level 5,
Mhm.
level 6. I actually think this game is played best between levels sort of 7 and 12. I think 7 to 12 is just the absolute boss
Eating
for
wood
these.
rice. You want me to not be a berserker? Oh, I see. I see. It's your first time chatting with us in our channel, and that's what you want to come in with? I accept your challenge, sir.
Talk you out of a Berserker Barbarian. Oh,
Uh,
it's going to take some convincing.
so keep in mind, we're only using player handbook stuff here, guys. So it's Path Berserker or Path of Totem Warrior.
Yeah,
Totem Warrior is just too damn safe for me.
I think so. And I
Nope.
think when you I think Keating might have missed the bit about the bard. So we have a bard that we built on
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday for this,
Mm-hmm.
and his entire um character build was all about sort of buffing and debuffing. So he's taken the ability to debuff the enemy to give them disadvantage on attacks. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're raging and frenzying, you would normally get an advantage against you. Well, that's going to be cancelled out by the disadvantage. So we're going to be rolling to advantage. They're going to be rolling at disadvantage, which is just huge. So it kind of evens out. So they're at straight dice. So it should sort of take away that negative connotation of the frenzy.
Also, Frenzy is just a lot of fun.
Yes, frenzy is a lot of fun to play. So, shall we jump over then to the abilities, and then we'll come back and add in those two?
Oh, poor Greg. Oh, I love it. I'm not yelling at you, Greg. I appreciate you bringing Keating along. Keating is also a very smart individual in the D&D realm.
Fair
So.
enough.
Oh, ability scores. Yes.
Ability scores. What would you like to do?
Yes, yes.
So we're going for
All
point
right.
by. So just to clarify for the guys who maybe haven't seen some of the other builds, we're going for point by. It's not out of any sort of huge sort of beef we have with rolling. It's that these characters are being designed for a singular purpose, and that purpose is to be as consistent as possible for the DMs. It's not really about the characters in this stream. It's about the DMs and what they do with those characters for each of the challenge games. Because obviously, with
Mm-hmm.
a different DM coming in each time, they're not going to have a lot of preparation time. So the idea is to pick an archetype, keep it balanced, and yeah, because the DMs are shifting, as Gregolas says, it's all about sort of sticking to those archetypes. And the point buy just means we can really sort of lean into the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in mind, Crimson, what would you like to do?
All right. Stat number uno
Strength,
for our mighty barbarian has to be strength, without a doubt.
certainly.
And we're just going to max that as hard as possible.
Uh, yep, I think we're already at 15.
Yes. Yes.
So, in fact, these are actually already set
Mhm.
up. I didn't realise that, having just seen that.
What? That
Yeah,
was
that's.
cleared out at one point.
I did clear them out. I think when I redid it, I think it just came back to it because we were messing
Well,
around
that
with it
makes it
earlier.
so much easier of a
That does
choice.
make it so much easier. So yeah, we're obviously going to go
All right.
intelligence, wisdom, charisma, dexterity, and then strength. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we want to do.
So
I
currently
think
we
I.
have 15
Uh,
in strength,
yep.
15 in constitution, 13 in dexterity, 8 in
Mm-hmm.
intelligence, 10 wisdom, 10 charisma. Do we want
So
to
we're at
mess with those?
17. No, I think we're good on that. Now we can pop back over to the class. And so strength, we're at 17 currently.
Yes, we
And
also need a
con, we're at
barbarian
15.
skill as well.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, strength and con is where we're going to bump our ability
That was,
scores.
sorry, that was athletics. That was what that should have been. That just didn't
Wrong.
save. Um,
What? Hmm.
so strength and constitution, yep.
Yep.
Excellent. So then jumping back to our. So, strength. Oh, 18. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we're going to be huge at
Yeah.
this. Racial
We're gonna
bonus as
we're
well.
gonna we're gonna do our best to punch really hard.
Yeah. Constitution's looking really healthy as well. We're up to a 16. So that is
Cardinal. I'm going to enjoy our friendly competition of trying to get the kill
yeah.
going quickly.
So yeah, that is looking really, really solid. And
You know what's going to end up
I
happening
cleared all
is I'm
this
going to
out.
do so much damage, and the Cardinal's just going to come around and kill skill left and right with his darn sneak attacks.
Absolutely. As much as we love the Barbarian to be like the damage dealer, we're really looking at the Barbarian being the tank here. Like rage,
Yes.
half all the damage, just soak up all the pain.
Just get in the face of the big bad guy and just enjoy roughing him up.
So are we
Or
sure we
her.
want to prioritize strength that high? I think so.
Yeah.
I think considering that we've put strength and
Another
constitution at 15.
Dragonborn. I'm the only Dragonborn of this party.
Everyone loves a Dragonborn.
But now I have to ask, what Dragonborn do you prefer? What color? From the player's handbook, of course.
Yeah. Keating, I absolutely agree with you. Barbarians are some of the best tanks in the game, regardless, even though they're not wearing armor. It's the rage function, halving the damage is just so powerful, and if you max constitution to the topmost, yeah, it becomes really really good. But I think I haven't looked at his hit point total yet, but it's going to be way over 50. So I think this should probably be fine.
Yes.
Strength
Strength is useless for her, Barb. You're funny, Greg.
But there's also nobody else in our party who's got strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've all taken like dexterity, constitution, charisma, that intelligence, that kind of stuff. We are going to need somebody to like shoulder the door open every now and again, which is good. So, background.
Right. Background. Right, we're empty of that. Cool. This is where it gets a little interesting, but again, trying to stick with the theme of player's handbook only here, so we're not overloading all
Yep.
the DMs that are going to try to come at us. I'm going to stick with the good soldier background because
Soldier or gladiator or something like that. But I think soldier's a good idea.
soldier makes sense in the sense that this character is designed to have a sense of he's got a self-imposed honor code.
Yes.
And
So
soldier really leads into that, like a lot of the personality traits too.
So to answer the question about shouldn't Dex come in a bit higher, not really. Like you're not worried about the barbarian getting hit. Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna happen. What?
That's what we have a healer for.
Yeah. In fact, if anything, what you prefer is you prefer them hitting the barbarian because it's easier for them, and the barbarian can just keep getting hit. If they're hitting the barbarian, they're not hitting the bard and they're not hitting the rogue, which I'm quite happy with. So that would be my standpoint on it. I've seen barbarians take a decent dex and have a fairly good AC as a result, but you're not worried about it. Because of the rage function. You're not worried about it. Yeah, if the barbarian goes down every fight, you are pretty much in the right place. He should be physically exhausted, bleeding, close to death at the end of every fight.
So here's something we're going to have to fix now. So with the soldier background, it's going to give us the skill proficiencies in athletics intimidation already.
Yes.
So that means we would have to go change our barbarian proficiencies around.
Or you can just take the fact that you're going to be
only having 2 skill proficiencies.
Yes, but 2 of them are going to be
they don't stack.
They do. Well,
no.
you'll be expert in them.
They don't stack.
Oh, it would just be maxed out though, won't it?
No, it's just a regular proficiency.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they do not stack very well.
So if we take the soldier background, I might want to change these then.
Let's go back over to the barbarian real fast.
Yes.
We would probably look at
Perception, nature.
perception and hmm. Have we got anybody that's good with animals yet?
Um,
I do have a soft spot for
yes.
animals and trying to coerce them to not eat us.
Yes, I think the rogue took
Okay,
animal
if
handling.
we got animal handling, I'm assuming the rogue probably has survival pretty well nailed down too.
Yes, I think nature's one we're possibly
All
missing.
right, then we're gonna go with nature. That's
Brilliant.
pro. Yeah, I agree, Keating. If they stack like that, characters would be far more
Far
entertaining.
more powerful. You can tell now that I've been a DM since third edition
Yeah.
and have built maybe 3 characters since third edition.
Well, now you can up that number up to like 7.
I have, yeah. This is actually more characters than I've ever built. Just doing the 4 for this. So
Mm-hmm.
I spend my entire time DMing. So
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely get to go through this process other than, hey, am I allowed to do this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
DM and play very often.
Yep.
Let's
So
do my
soldier
best to bring.
background, athletics,
Yeah.
intimidation. Choose a
Yep.
gaming set.
Uh, we're just gonna go with good old dice. Because why would you not?
Dice. Why not? So there's our military rank, suggested characteristics.
Suggested characteristics. In our personality trait,
I.
we can stare down a hellhound without flinching.
Oh, I think so. I think if you're going to be a barbarian, you got to be tough, haven't you?
It's gonna take a lot more than a hellhound to try to scare me.
What about an ideal? And
Ideal. All right.
so I think what we've all been taking so far, we've been taking a trait, an ideal, and a flaw, just to make it as
Right.
simple as possible.
Well, like the bond is going to matter for this character in particular, just because he's such an honor-driven character.
Okay.
Um, I think for ideal though, the ideal is the one where it gets a little bit more interesting for it.
Mhm.
'Cause it's not necessarily. Hmm. Think I'm not entirely sure what I would want to choose for the ideal necessarily, but I
Well,
do
we
know the
can.
bond matters a lot to him.
Yeah, I think you know what we can probably if we say that we can probably just go personality, bond, flaw.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's fair.
that's probably enough,
Yeah,
just to give the DM something to work with.
because the way we're going to set these games up hopefully is like have because some of the ideals are just strictly to follow the rules and such, and like
Yeah.
that's not going to be an option in some of these games. So
Mhm.
yeah, so Bond, his honor is his life,
Okay.
and yep, easily. And then Flaw, because he's such an honor driven individual, he wants to have the best fights he can, and he has little respect for anybody who has not proven themselves to be a valuable warrior.
Okay. I like that. That's good because
Yeah, he's
that's gonna feed into a bit of the intimidation and a bit of the
mhm,
sort of soldier class and backgrounds as well, which is nice.
right.
Everything else is kind of by the by for this. Like we're not worried about details and notes and stuff. That's
Not
oh,
overly.
details actually. Alignment we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
choosing. Faith we're
No.
not worried about, but lifestyle we've all gone for modest, which I think is probably about
Whatever's
right.
comfortable.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably about right for a soldier.
Well, usually. I don't know how much a lifestyle is going to really matter when we're shifting locations weekly.
Yeah, I think it's more just it feeds into that sort of you don't feel out of place in an inn or a
Right.
tavern, or you could go to a ball and it wouldn't, you'd know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
You're not sort of, poverty
Common,
stricken.
yeah, common
Yeah,
courtesies and that kind of thing.
yeah, which kind of
Yeah,
fits
we're
into
all
it. And I
right with
mean,
that.
soldiers already in here anyway, so it fits
Hmm.
perfectly. So that'll do that. Equipment, and again, I cleared all this out, man. I swear to God.
You did.
D&D Beyond just being D&D Beyond.
The one thing about barbarians, they're really easy to build anyway.
They are super, super easy. So backpack, bedroll, adventuring gear,
Yep.
dice set, of course, because that would already be there. And then just take as many weapons as you can carry.
I don't. I did that with my first barbarian, so that's the first class I played in fifth edition was a barbarian. I ended up becoming a walking armory, and I thought that just didn't end up making too much sense.
Yep.
So for this particular character, it's more or less just going to be straight up the great axe and probably a couple daggers if need be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice javelin there too, just in case.
Javelin's get better at range than a dagger
Yep.
usually, but
Yeah, for sure. So, for the final reveal,
da, 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 da.
you should be able to take a quick look.
Oh, by the way, for anybody who's wondering, the character's name is going to be MagGero.
Okay, that
Yeah.
clearly hasn't pulled through.
What?
Oh,
Oh boy.
it's D&D Beyond being D&D Beyond.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing we're not going to have to worry about that too terribly often.
Yep. So that was 15, 8, 10, and 10.
Mhm. So,
These are all
chat,
so
how are we doing today? Am I doing good with this barbarian build for a player's handbook barbarian?
You see what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
great axe, 2 axes, dagger,
Great
bone
X. Oh, did we
dice.
do? Yeah, yep. All right. Now we have to choose objects. What the?
Ah, unbelievable. Like, it's just being a pig.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully then that should save. There we go. That's more like it, isn't it? So the one thing I do need to do is very quickly jump back to here. So you can talk amongst yourselves for a few seconds while I very
Well,
quickly
while we're
set this up.
talking amongst ourselves, I noticed we got some friends from the Dirtboard over here, which is fantastic, and a couple other friends. Then Mr. Carnal, who's with us. It's fantastic.
Hey, hey. So if I drop that a little bit more and then do this.
Oh, if you're curious of what these characters are going to be like in action, we have a kind of a test run this Sunday that I'm looking so forward to.
Absolutely. I don't have all the details of that yet, but I believe Crimson does, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, it's going to be 7. So we're doing this on Sunday about 7 o'clock Eastern. And our good friend from Careful Cantrick, DM Dave, is going to help run us through the ringer, and he's already threatening a TPK on us. And I love it. I love it. As like, so, as much as we want this to be a DM skill challenge, it's going to be a challenge for us players to be really creative and play smartly into these scenarios.
Yeah. Mostly because we're not going to know the DMs, we're not going to know the
Yes,
we're not going to know their
TPK.
styles, we're not going to know what's coming. It's just a
Right.
complete, and the idea is to play each game as straight as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to follow every plot hook. We try to go along with whatever the DM's kind of, if he says, oh, there's a cave here, we're not just going to go, well, yeah, we're not interested in that, we're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go and explore it, because that's clearly what he had in mind. So it's kind of going to be a little bit different to a lot of the other games that you may have been a part of or seen. Hey, just in case, welcome back.
I hope your travels have been going well for you.
Yeah. So, it's a little bit different. And this barbarian is really going to help. So, a +4, a +3 in Constitution. That's really, really useful. A +3 proficiency bonus, which is just so good.
I mean, we all have +3 in proficiency bonus. That doesn't change.
Level 5,
That,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's just a level 5 feature.
That's just a
of each
level 5
class.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, athletics +7, intimidation +3, nature +2.
Yes.
These are all pretty sweet. There is a lot there that's going to help. 2 hours drive. Oof.
You got this.
Yeah, you'll be
You
fine.
got this. You're almost there.
Nearly home. It's one of the things now. I'm so happy that I now work from home. Don't have to fly overseas and do all the other nonsense I used to do when I was younger. Because it's when you're sort of traveling home from South Korea, takes 2 days. In fact, the single worst, even though it's not the furthest I've ever been, the single worst place to ever fly back from is Djibouti.
Yeah.
The place so good they named it twice. That is an appalling place to try and get home from.
Yeah, I flew from Tokyo to Chicago.
Oh.
And it's real fun being able to go, yeah, I've been in Tokyo and Chicago at 6 a.m. on the same day before.
Yeah.
Time traveling is fun. Makes for a really long day.
I haven't flown from Japan to the States, but I've sailed from Japan to the States. And that took 19 days. That was a long time.
Yeah.
14 knots across the Pacific.
The fun fact that me and Ash have both been on the ocean for a bit of time.
Yeah. So it was fine. It was fine. I don't miss it at all.
I sort of miss it. I would like being back out on the ocean, but not necessarily on a military ship.
Certainly not the military ships again. God, that was bad enough the first time round. So, guys, that was our would have been a cool voyage though. Yeah, it was a long voyage. It was 19 days. We stopped in Hawaii for I think maybe 3 days, and then straight through Panama, which was fine. It was a brand new ship. We weren't allowed to do anything with it, so it was just a delivery voyage. And 19 days at 12 to 14 knots, when you're the officer of the watch, is incredibly boring.
yeah. There's not much of a reason for that particular position.
8 hours
sailing.
8 hours a day of following the line and checking the radar, chucking the radar up to 96 miles and going, nope, still nothing on radar.
It always gets exciting when that one little blip pops up and you're like, okay, now we got to do something about this.
Yeah, and they're always on an exact reciprocal course, and they're always going to crash right into you in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Every time. So, guys, that was our barbarian build. I hope you enjoyed it. And we've also talked a little bit about the stream, what's going to be going on. In the next sort of couple of days, we've got obviously our first one-shot on Sunday to test all the characters out, see how we work together, that kind of stuff. Which will be with Careful Candidate's wonderful DM Dave. And then following that, once we're happy with all the characters and happy with the format, we will be putting the DM application forms live.
We'll probably do a session here shortly too, going through our scorecards and putting that together.
That's probably a good idea. I think we'll probably do that next Wednesday-ish.
Wednesday?
I think we said.
Or
maybe Friday. Maybe next Friday.
I think it was Friday, just because I'm usually not doing anything else useful at that point.
Okay, so we'll probably do it next Friday. It'll be probably an odd time, just to sort of fit in around the schedule. And then the application forms will be live. We're looking at the first game to be starting towards the end of January. Just let everything calm down and let everyone get over the Christmas period and the holiday period and restart work again. And it will give people enough time to sort of build for the first games. So Look out for that if you're interested. Please give it a go. We've got some cool prizes, and it should be a lot of fun as well.
Hmm. If you haven't yet, come join our Discord. I've been trying to drop the link there, and if it's not working, just let me know. I'll try to fix that.
Yeah,
But
and there is also
or just send me a message directly on Discord. I'm pretty sure I know all of you through Discord already. So
there's also our link tree as well, which has everything,
yeah.
and you can even, if you're using a mobile, you can actually watch all of our streams through Linktree as well. You just
Oh, that's neat.
tap the drop
I didn't
down, and
think.
you can watch it straight through Linktree, and you can also chat on there as well. So if you're traveling about and you don't want to open up Twitch, you can actually do it directly through the
Hmm.
Linktree. I tried that earlier. It's good fun.
I'm excited. I got to play the Rage Boy.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about you, but it is actually quite late here.
Oh
So
no, it's definitely not late here. No, I
it
know you
is
got to get going.
it is for me. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
part. It's been great in the chat, and look out for us on Sunday. I'll start posting up a whole bunch of stuff
Oh yeah.
about what we're going to be doing. Join the Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and we will see you in the future.